Hopefully that worked. Okay, let's start. Let's clear and ground the energies. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hello and welcome to ArcanaUniverse. This is going to be your 8/8 Lionsgate portal reading. Let's get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the opening message and then do all signs from Aries through Pisces and we're going to hear the message for you guys for today, okay? Or whenever this message finds you. Okay. What's the opening message? And remember, this is a general reading, so only take what resonates. We do have cross watchers, so roles can be reversed, but you will know if this is your story and which sides you are on. If you're interested in a personal, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. All right. This card came up again. Remember this? Who remembers that one? Okay, so what this, 8/8 Lionsgate portal energies, what I'm picking up here is that it's going to bring some level of like hard work into play. I see a shift when it comes to work matters. Perhaps work is going to be the main focus, and there's going to be like this shift going forward. And somebody here I would not be surprised if somebody finds romance through work, or or someone sees someone working and they think that that is so attractive. I'm getting like, oh, like they're working so hard. That is so attractive. Like that kind of energy. So somebody here may find like an admirer while working is what I'm seeing here. But energetically, what I'm seeing here is that when somebody here works very hard, okay, they kind of shape and change. Hello, Gia, welcome. When somebody here works like genuinely hard on themselves and do the work to better their circumstances, whether that's their career, finance, stability, or just themselves, working on themselves counts as well. When they start pouring in that love back to themselves, hello, Deep, I see that there's some sort of energy shift and it's going to bring a lot of abundance. It's almost like when somebody puts in the hard work, then they'll see the rewards, right? And karmically as well, okay? Yeah, so everybody coming in, welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So as an energy reader, I'm going to be tapping into the energies. And so whatever you're meant to hear at this time, labels aside, if you're an Aries or a Pisces, all of that. Hello, Easy. And so what I will recommend is for those of you who are new here, if you have any like questions, or if you're hoping that I touch up on your energy, all you have to do is listen. Thumbs up, send hearts, and all that good stuff. All right. Hello, Sam. Oh, honey, I know it's. Deep is just like, come on now, come on. Just because you don't know about it doesn't mean, Hello, Golf. Oh, thank you, thank you. But anyways, as mentioned, if you're new here, just feel free to hang out. This is a safe space, so you're more than welcome to hang out. No coincidence, the sirens are going, so. And by the way, I'm very mindful, just as a reminder, I'm very mindful of the space. As mentioned, this is a safe space. And if I feel like there is some funny business going on, I'm going to make sure I address it, okay? So just giving you guys a heads up. Respect all around, okay? Oh, okay, so let's continue, all right? Here, let's continue. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here, everybody, okay? Yeah, so you could have an opinion and you're more than welcome to express it on your channel, okay? But when you come into this space, if you're coming in with disrespect, it's not appreciated, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, I don't expect you to agree with everything and all of that. I don't think that's logical, but again, this is a safe space. So feel free to give me a chance, okay? Michelle, welcome. Okay, anyway, so let's continue on, all right? Everybody focus here, back here, less on each other, okay? All right, so let's continue on. Anything else? So I'm picking up on somebody here with like financial lack in a sense. It's just like it's like whatever they put in, the effort that they put in, they don't really get much back at this time, okay? This is what's going to be shifting. Somebody here is going to really tap into their attractiveness and even like work on their image or appearance or put a little bit more effort. So if somebody here, has a tendency just to kind of like the like get be able to get ready in like 2 minutes, okay? I'm giving kind of like an example. It doesn't have to be literally like this, but an example coming through is like if somebody is able to get ready in 2 minutes, I feel like there's some level of shift. Somebody here is going to put a little bit more effort into their appearance is what I'm sensing here. So whether that means that extra gargle when you're brushing your teeth, or like do it like brushing your hair, or like make sure you're washing your face and looking somewhat presentable, okay? Hello, Canon, welcome. And it's not to say you have to get like all dolled up or look super fancy. It's not necessarily about that, but is there something to be said about when you love yourself enough to treat yourself and like nice and kindly, okay? I'm not really sure what your question is deep, but less this, more this at this time, okay? We want to respect the messages coming through, okay? So and remember, as an energy reader, you don't even have to ask a question. What you're meant to hear at this time will come up, okay? So, hello, Javid. Okay, anyways. so, so it's saying, so God is trying to recommend, like, take the time to show ourselves a little love, a little care, okay? A little love, a little care, and I feel like it'll go a lot more than one would imagine. Not only is somebody here going to feel more confident, more put together. It's just like they'll feel a little bit lighter. It's just like, oh, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, and like when you're in that energy, you're also spreading that energy in a sense. Like people will notice, people will be like, oh, they're feeling good, which makes them feel good. It's just like that infectious happiness and joy. It's real. It's real. And so I definitely see that It has multiple benefits. If somebody here is single, looking, all of that, they're going to be also attracting people who are interested or is in the same energy in a sense. Okay. Hello, Alan. Anyways, I guess that's your opinion, right? Deep. Anyways, the final message for this before we move on. So when these energies notice this person, you know, somebody here is vibrating high, takes care of themselves, has fun with it as well. And it feels very genuine. It's not like somebody trying to be fake. It's somebody genuinely having a great time and being comfortable with themselves and being open to playing in a sense, okay? Like having fun and letting that inner child out is kind of what I'm sensing here, okay? Anyways, any final messages? So what I'm sensing here, okay, feel free to check out the oh, Gia, so sweet. Okay. So the final message here, and feel free to check out these shorts I posted before hopping on here. Looks like this, maybe with the white background, but it was kind of, I'm tapping into that energy, what I picked up there as well. So feel free to check it out. You may resonate as well, but the final message, it reminded me of that, is that somebody here needs to not be like manipulative, okay? And it's almost as if they are trying to reject themselves in a way. It's just like they may have attraction and feelings, but because they feel like the other person might not want them, they manipulatively cast themselves out, not make them favorable in a sense, okay? Deep wrote, y'all are bullies. I am saying the most polite thing. I said it's boring and my place cut, not Arcana. Okay, all right. Deep, okay. Please be mindful. Nobody is bullying you. Change that perspective. That's not, clearly there was some level of misunderstanding, and it would help if, you know, grammar helps. I'm just saying, okay, grammar helps, okay? But thanks for being more clear about what you meant about the boring thing. That's why I didn't really, it didn't seem, that's why I didn't like really call you out on that comment. I just kind of like moved on because I felt like there was some level of miscommunication going on. Yeah. Deep throat. Yeah, I know, second grammar. But it's okay. That's like, you know, at least you know, some people, they'll deny it to the end. They'll be like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, but I can tell you do want to be understood, but sometimes you may rub people the wrong way and all of that. But you know, first impressions matter, and so, but you know what? I believe that people can change and all of that. And so, you know, I'm glad you're here. Feel free to hang out, but let's always be mindful, all right? Uh, yeah, and I know Gia was just trying to be protective and all of that. So I appreciate it, you guys, okay? So let's go ahead and continue on with the reading. But so yeah, somebody here has a tendency to kind of like play themselves at their own game by trying not to reveal the truth. But again, that's manipulative tactic. Like Why not be honest? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm picking up on a strong water energy. So this person may be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in their sun, moon, rising, or Venus. But regardless of the sign, I'm picking up on somebody here that sees somebody's value. They have some sort of emotional investment because they see that the other person actually cares. Like there's a lot of care, love, nurturing energy that I'm picking up. And so even though there may be some level of tension because somebody doesn't know how to behave due to somebody's attraction for somebody here. And so the recommendation is if we're true and honest about how we feel, okay, that's going to make things progress and go smoother, okay, is the final message for the opening message. So next I'm going to do Aries through Pisces. You know, whether you're the signs sun, moon, rising, Venus, stellium, or dealing with somebody with those placements, it doesn't matter because I read energies. And so I trust that if you're in here, it is no coincidence. And at the end, after I finish Pisces, I'm going to do a spinny spin. So feel free to check, stay until the end, and we're going to wrap it up with a final message. Okay, so you know, opening message, all signs Aries through Pisces. So that's 12, essentially 12 messages, and then at the end we'll do a final closing collective message. Okay, all right. So Aries. So the all signs portion is going to move very quickly. Okay, we're just tapping into the energies, the messages that needs to come out for the Lionsgate portal. And if for those of you who want to dig deeper into, you know, the videos and the messages that I have posted so far, feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel where you will find your Tarot Today, monthly, yearly readings, all of that, okay? And if you would like to connect with me outside of this platform or book a personal, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. And you know what? While I'm, you know, kind of doing the opening collective message in a sense, I'm going to mention Team Water, okay? So I have joined Mr. Beast, Mark Rober, and the rest of Team Water to raise $40 million in the month of August 2025 to help 2 million people have access to clean water for 20 years, decades, okay? And so $1 can provide one individual with access to clean water for 1 year. So imagine like how much $1, how far it can go. So if you are, you know, if you ever was interested in donating this to this channel, or you were trying to find ways to give back, but you know, you want your dollar to stretch in a sense, make a bigger impact, this is the time, okay? Feel free to check out teamwater.org. Every dollar counts. And so, okay, go team, yeah. Okay. So, Aries. Oh, hello. This is what we started out the entire reading with, right? The Lionsgate portal energy. August 8th, okay? 8/8. And so it's a very significant time, even numerology wise as well. And so, and astrologically as well. And not to mention, we also have the Aquarius full moon happening in like 4 hours or so. So right now, this window, this 8/8 portal in a sense is intense. It is supposed to, well, let's find out what it's going to bring for all of you guys, okay? Okay, so let's do it. Oh, wow. So for Aries, What I'm sensing here is that there's going to be a lot of supportive energy, and it's going to be rooting from some level of truth. Some level of truth came to light, and they found out who their allies were, okay, who was actually there and to be supportive. It's almost as if somebody either like stood up for them or like vouched for them, or like they really pinpointed somebody's kind and generous nature. And so I see a lot of appreciation. So either somebody stood up for this person or this person stood up for somebody else. But regardless, I just feel like there is this strong partnership energy. And so, you know, at this time, during this time, okay, Gia wrote, I wish I could stay to know Virgos, but can't. Thanks for love and the love. Aw. Feel free to, save this video and then you can watch it later, all right? But yeah, thanks for dropping by and thank you for protecting the space in a sense. I appreciate it, okay? All right, bye. So, beautiful, wonderful. Any final messages for that? So at this time, during this window of opportunity, there's going to be a chance for a fresh new beginning with less baggage, less trauma to carry on is what I'm seeing here, okay? All right, let's move on to Taurus. So what I'm saying for Taurus is that somebody here is connecting with somebody who's like far away, or this may be like a long distance connection, or I see somebody's energy. They pulled back. Okay, it's almost like everything was going great, and then somebody here either like ghosted or just they pulled back, and they weren't respectful enough to give an explanation or like closure, nothing like that. Somebody here was disrespectful, okay? It was all there and selfish. It's and so this energy, they really impacted this other individual and brought a lot of stress and heartache and in a sense, as a result of that pain and trauma, somebody here really pulled back. It's almost as if they regained their strength. They took back their energy. It's almost as if somebody here was in a one-sided connection and they understood that that wasn't fair, and somebody woke up. They finally woke up. It was almost as if they were sleeping for a while, as they were in a trance in a sense, and they weren't able to break out of it until they were disrespected to the point they were just like, what are they, what's going on? They're better than this. Somebody, thank goodness somebody here knew their self-worth. And so even though there may have been some level of hurt and unfairness, I'm getting here during this window, during this 8-8 Lionsgate window, somebody here is going to find or be reminded about their self-worth, that they deserve better, that they don't deserve to be treated with disrespect, and that at the end of the day, they shouldn't rely on other people to validate their worth, in a sense, okay? Somebody here really needs to be strong and confident. And I know this energy, they may have been, distracted. I can tell they were distracted for a moment, or like gave more chances than they should have. But at the end of the day, especially this push within the 8-8 portal, like somebody here is going to really stand in their power Okay, so love that. Love that for you guys, okay? Or whoever is resonating. So let's go ahead and move on to Geminis. So Geminis, I see here, if somebody here was like involved, married, in a relationship, what have you, okay, if somebody here was connecting with somebody that it was like this mutual understanding that there was chemistry, there is feelings, but due to an injustice, okay, somebody here, okay, so bend. No, 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 okay. No, 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 no. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. Okay. So, so I see here somebody feels like a bit lack that they were connecting with somebody, but they weren't treated fairly. I see here somebody brought third parties into the mix, and there was disloyalty. So, why do we need to know this? It was meant to happen. It was meant to happen because somebody here wouldn't stop communicating with third parties. It's just like they can't stop themselves, like they have no self-control. Somebody here is like a wild bull in a china shop, or china, whatever you call that, okay? But I just, somebody here, they want to start talking to somebody that they know they shouldn't talk to, or like, and there's a lot of like third party energies, but why do we need to know about this? Oh, okay, so somebody here during this 8-8 portal, they are going to be given the opportunity to choose love. Okay, they're going to be given the opportunity to choose love. And if they are, you know, going through a breakup, or they want to break up with somebody or go through a divorce, it's like this 8-8 portal is giving them the push to do it so that they can actually be with the person that they want to be with. Or if this energy, they are actually happy with their current situation, to let go of third party energies. So there's definitely this wrapping up of a cycle. Somebody here really needs to realize, where do they want to pour their energy? And does it align with their current circumstance? Okay, so this is something that they need to really consider, and that they're not just operating out of like lust and all of that, but instead love. Somebody here really needs to make a decision. Your energy coming through very strongly. So let's go ahead and move on to Cancers. So Cancers. So somebody here is going to be given the opportunity to spend more time with like loved ones or family, because, and it's going to help them. I'm picking up on an immature energy. So it doesn't matter if you're like 99 or what have you. You can still be immature, but so either this person, they are, you know, young, very young, or like youthful at heart, or it's just very immature. And so somebody here is going, they realize that they're spoiled, bratty like, and behavior can't continue on because it's a turn off. It's been a turn off, and they're not able to attract love and like good times because of their behavior. Like it's almost like somebody here is being cut off. And so, as you know, we have both sides watching in. So whether this is your energy or the energy of somebody that's dealing with somebody like this, what is recommending is that somebody here is going to actually put their foot down to address this. So there's some level of protection that I'm sensing. Somebody here is going to be very mindful of trying to be very mindful of who they surround who they surround themselves with. They only want to surround themselves with people who like love them, care about them. If there's any like playing games, disrespect, third party energies that they want to drag, other people disrespectfully, that's going to end because somebody here really values their, I'm getting sanity and emotional happiness, okay? So Leos. Okay, so what I'm picking up here is somebody here is going to be very strategic in how they obtain success. But it's kind of giving off like sneaky energy. It is giving off sneaky energy. So somebody here may pretend like, oh, everything is fine, or no, that's not what they're trying to do. But somebody here has motives. Okay, they have intentions, and their main goal is to be successful at all costs, in a sense. And but somebody here, they can see their tactics. Like they understand that they're doing this for their own gain. It's for their own like pride and ego and and to put under like their accomplishments. It's not really coming from a very loving place. It's coming from a very logical and self-serving kind of energy. So why do we need to know this? So I'm seeing here, somebody here is taking the time. They've been activated in a sense. Like it's almost like somebody here is trying to either like prove somebody that they're worthy, or like that they're a catch, because I'm getting competitive energy though, okay? And so, oh, wow. Okay, so I was getting this download, and I'm glad I pulled another card, because I was getting this download. I was just like, I'm seeing here the trend so far. If you're watching all through the all signs, I'm getting this consistency of this Leo energy. Okay, the 8-8 portal. It's ruled and is designated in during Leo season, right? And so I'm seeing all of these traits, both light and dark, negative, positive traits of what Leos can have a tendency to do, in a sense. And so what I'm sensing here is that somebody here, I'm getting like they have a competitive nature, or like they like to prove somebody wrong, or like they want to prove their worth, show their worth, to impress somebody here in a sense, or at least, make them acknowledge them that they too can do it, okay? And so it's definitely kind of coming back to like the opening messages that we were tapping into, about somebody here focusing on their work, their foundation, trying to be a better version of themselves. But just be mindful, okay? That is not being rooted from ego-based, you know, like it shouldn't be rooted from jealousy or pridefulness or competitiveness or trying to like prove to somebody. Like that shouldn't be the motivation. I see that it is at this time. It is, that's the motivation at this time. But the message, this is why we're doing this. Somebody here needs a little bit of a redirection, because somebody here is kind of like operating in a not so good light. So God is trying to encourage, we should do this rooting from love, rooting from care. Do this not to prove somebody else wrong or show them that they are of worth, or like, you know, not for those reasons, but do it because somebody here wants, cares about themselves enough that they want to put themselves in a situation and surround themselves with people, places, or things that brings healthy, loving value in a sense. Okay, no, not for the clout, not for the, you know, none of that, because at the end of the day, those are all smoke and mirrors. It's fleeting. Once that source of validation and all of that is gone, then what's left? Okay, so it really needs to be rooting from somebody here doing this out of genuine healthy self-love energy and to be a better version of themselves. Okay, so rooting from love. Okay, not out of spite, not out of all of that negative stuff. Okay, so let's move on to Virgos. Okay, oh my god. Okay, okay, what the hell? Okay, I have to mention this. Okay, I do sense here somebody may lose somebody. Okay, somebody may lose like a family member or somebody that they're close to. And if that's you, or if that's going to be you, I'm so sorry for your loss. Okay? Okay, but I'm sensing here there's going to be like, I do sense abundance and happiness, but there's some sort of like energy coming through where there's this like devastating ending. Okay, that I'm picking up. And so it's going to bring a lot of like stress and insecurities and all of that. But I sense here somebody is going to be okay. Okay, they are going to be okay. Uh, for some of you guys, it may be like a health scare or something like that. Like somebody that this energy may be close to, they may have like a health scare, or, but I see that somebody here is going to need like healing. They're gonna need time for healing. And thank God it'll be okay. It's going to be okay, but it's going to be like devastating. I am getting the word devastating. So there may be a lot of like stress surrounding it, but I sense here it's going to be okay in a sense. There is some level of silver lining, and with time, consistency, and continued healing and rest, it is going to be okay. Any final messages? Oh my gosh, God, why are you gonna do that? Oh my gosh. Hello, Nida. Dramatic. Freaking 884 Hello, Patrick. Welcome back. Okay, so for those of you who has like personal questions in mind, if you would like a personal, all of that information can be found in the description of this video. Otherwise, this is going to be a collective reading, so I don't spread myself too thin. So all you have to do, because I read energies, is less this, more this. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, Patrick wrote, your makeup looks amazing. I'm trying not to ruin it, but sometimes, you know, when I do these readings and when I'm like tapping into these energies, you know, I can't help it. It's just like what, you know, it's part of it. It's part of it, and as you know, I try to be genuine on here, and sometimes it is what it is. But anyways, so God is oh, thank you, Godzilla. So, oh my God. Anyway, so God is trying to, the final messages, just to wrap it up, because that was intense. Okay, is that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay, but it's really going to light like a fire under somebody's butt, and it's going to be like they're going to push somebody here to like go after what they want, go after their dreams, their wishes. It's just like no more driving through life in the back seat. Like somebody here is really going to take the wheel, so to speak, and like go after what they want and be abundant, because they've experienced, somebody here through their struggles and or loss or stagnancy, somebody here experienced what loneliness felt like, what being unsupported felt like, and it's almost as if like somebody here, they needed this shakeup to really realign them in the right path. Okay, a more fulfilling and abundant path. Okay, so let's move on to Libra. Test. Okay, all right. Libra. Let me just check really quick. Oh god. But I don't have any tissues nearby. Okay. Anyways. So Libras, what I am picking up. Yeah. This full of this combination of 8-8 portal and the full moon and Aquarius. It's intense, but at least, you know, the messages are, as usual, coming in strong. So Libra, what I'm picking up is somebody here is not thinking straight. Okay, it's like they see an example of how one should behave. They have somebody that they can look up to or see as an example, but it's just like what they do, what they embody, the life that they lead. It's a little difficult for this person. They feel like it's too much of a burden, it's hard work, and and they're not able to see things in the other person's perspective. Like, it's really hard for this energy to be a good person, or they just don't want to put in the work. Like, there's something about somebody here can't be honest, is what I'm sensing here. And so why do we need to know this? Okay. During what this, 8 portal will bring about and kind of activate is that the person that felt stuck, okay, and they sort of had a resistance about following a path that they know that they need to take, but wasn't willing to because it was hard. I see here they are going to try. They are going to try. And I like that, because it's just like, at least somebody here, even though they were kind of slow, and there wasn't much progress, there was definitely some level of resistance. But at the end of the day, they see value here. So they want to try. They haven't given up. Okay, so I see here, even though I'm getting kind of like a clumsy energy, I don't want to say they're necessarily dragging their feet, but it's just like, it's been such a long time since they kind of like put themselves out there or tried something new. In a sense, it's been such a long time, so I do sense some sort of like clumsy, Bambi shaky kind of energy. But somebody here is just like, they're going to give it a try. It's almost like somebody here is approaching love in a logical way. And, it's recommended they approach love in a heart space, emotional way. But this person, that's what they know, logic. It's just like, doesn't make sense. And when we find that balance between head and heart, that we're in a good place then. Okay, so that's what the message is for you guys. Okay, so Scorpios, Scorpio, I am picking up on somebody that is either like connected. Okay. Oh, okay, welcome back, Deep. Welcome back. So I am picking up on somebody who is either like involved, married, already partnered up in a relationship, or like they have their eye on somebody, but it's just like I do sense some sort of like sadness energy. Why is that? Like, it's like somebody here is not willing to make a decision, and because somebody here is not making a decision, there is this lack of momentum. There's this not wanting to ruffle feathers. Okay, somebody here doesn't want any problems. They don't want to cause a ruckus. It's just somebody here is tired of arguing and being stressed out. Okay, so for those of you, okay, what I'm seeing here, there's going to be some level of truth that comes to light, and it's kind of it's a truth that is powerful and impactful. Okay, it's almost as if what is revealed, I see here there was some level of secrets that was kept. Somebody here was not being honest, and it's really going to force somebody to start fresh. Okay, I do sense that. And it's because there were lies. It's almost like somebody here was trying to build a castle, but in between each, brick layers or whatever, stone layers, it's just like pocket of lies, deceit, secrets. And so it's just like, how can one have a solid foundation if there are a bunch of holes? Okay, it's not. It was doomed to come down under these circumstances, and so this is going to really rock somebody's world in a sense, but it's a reset button. Okay, it's a reset, and so it's really going to bring about some sort of like collaboration and teamwork thereafter to rebuild again. Okay. Any final messages for that? Because that was pretty, you know, there's your energy. That was pretty impactful as well. It's talking about somebody here. This is how they pay attention, okay? You guys hear the sirens, okay? This energy is learning to be true to their emotions. Of like how they feel, like what they want, like they're trying to be more honest with themselves, because you know when they turn a blind eye, when they, you know, out of loyalty, I'm getting unhealthy loyalty though. It's just like somebody here is just loyal because they've known them the longest, not based on how good they've been to them. Because imagine like somebody here, just because they knew them for a very long time, even though they treat them not so good, okay, they'll still try to live with it, or try to be understanding of the abuse in a sense. You know, not every abuse is physical. There's mental, emotional, and all of that. And so this is giving the opportunity for this energy to really like honor how they feel and not to turn a blind eye. And it's almost as if like, yes, there should be a sense of like picking battles in a sense. You know, we can't just fight every little itty bitty thing, but it's just like the thing that really counts, the root cause, those things, they do need to be communicated and brought up. Okay. So deep, bro, if someone didn't treat me good, I am gonna do the same, like, bruh. So, oh my gosh, deep, you know, I'm so glad you're here, because one of the great things about live streaming is because we get to, one, connect. How amazing is that? We get to connect, you know, from people from all over the world, and also we get to really bring and spotlight some of these, let's say, outdated, unhealthy perspectives. Okay, we get to really bring that up, because you know there's a saying that goes, you know, an eye for an eye makes the world blind, right? So imagine if somebody does us dirty, and then we do them dirty, and then we do other people dirty, and all of that, then it's just a never-ending cycle. Okay, so how do we fix this? We got to find the root cause, why it's happening. Okay, and if after, you know, trying to work things out, and if it doesn't work out, then we need to stop feeding it and move on. We got to stop and move on, because it's just, what do you think, God? And there's something to be said about let people show you who they are. Okay, people will show you who they are. They will. And this relates to exactly kind of the Scorpio energy message that I was tapping into. It's just like, believe them when they show you who they are. Okay, so in a sense, why progress that so far to the point they hurt you? You know, let's not get to that point. This is preventative measures. These are the messages and tools and a different perspective, so that we can manage our life in a smart and effective way. Why waste our time? Why? When we can be focusing elsewhere, where it's more fulfilling, healthy, and abundant. Okay, so the more we focus on the chaos and being vengeful and all of that, we're stuck there. We got to learn how to come out of that energy and move forward. Okay, it's almost like, what's done is in the past, and it's like, put it away. Put it away. Okay? Oh, no, yeah, I didn't say. No, there's nothing about, okay, so deep, remember, we can't pick and choose. Like, we gotta hear the message as a whole. Okay? Exactly what I said about, communication and all of that. Yeah. Yeah. So I think you're on the right path. You're on the right path. I think it's just like there's a little bit of a challenge when it comes to like communicating, but I think you're on the right path. Yes, we need to address it. I never said, beat around the bush. I never said that, okay? So there's something to be said about communicating, okay? Feel free to replay it back. I'm not going to be on here repeating the same thing over and over and again, okay? Literally just listen to the whole Scorpio reading if it helps. But I said everything there. Okay, so let's move on. All right, let's move on. So I'm gonna have to perfect timing because I have to reshuffle again before we tap into the Sagittarius energy. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done. So, what do you guys think of my my luck? It's my it's 8/8 portal Lion's Gate, so I was kind of going for that feline look. Have fun with it, It's just like, what else can I get to play and like dress up like this? Like, it's not hurting anybody. Okay. Sagittarius. Oh, look at that. So Sagittarius, what this 8/8 portal will bring, activate, the shift that's happening here is that somebody here, I see love, okay? I do sense some sort of love, but it's like very burdening kind of love. It's just like, what I'm getting here is, there may be like chemistry or like physical attraction and all of that, but somebody here is not quite somebody's match, okay? Perhaps if one person is somebody of like high value, integrity, honesty, and they have this like class air about them, like classiness about them, they're dealing with somebody who's just like not up to that. Like they're not up to that, they're not matching that energy. And so it's almost like somebody here really needs to, they really need to face whether or not it's worth entertaining this connection. Okay, strong air energy coming through. They don't have to be an air sign, but I'm picking like specifically Gemini energy coming through. Okay. Hello, Donald. Bro, that's me, classy AF. Welcome back. Okay, so yeah, I'm picking up on an energy that wants to like be in somebody's life and keep communication and keep some level of romance going, but it's so much burden associated with it. It's just like there's no forward movement. It just kind of feels like somebody is like stuck in time and they don't really see this connection expanding. And so the reason why this message is coming up, somebody here really needs to see the connection that they're in a different perspective. It's just like, is this person adding value to their life in a sense? Can they see this person growing? Like, can they grow with this person? And if the answer is no, then that really answers the question. But if the answer is yes, then I see here that there is a potential for this connection. Hello, Michelle. For this connection to actually go somewhere. But somebody here really needs to choose love. They really need to choose love. They need to be direct, respectful, consistent, and let burdens go, and is willing to meet this energy where they are, instead of somebody here needing to stoop down to somebody's level just to make things easy and safe for them. Okay, so somebody here really needs to stand their ground. Do not lower your standards, your healthy basic standards, okay? No matter how much love you may have for this individual or how badly they want it to make it work, it's just like, if they want to be in this person's energy, they better step it up, okay? All right, Capricorn. Okay, so somebody here is connecting with like, I'm getting like a long distance connection. And so there is a lot of like attraction and I'm getting lustful energy. But the thing is, it feels like it can't really go anywhere. It feels like a forever crush or like a forever admiring from afar. But I sense here like it's because somebody here really like they fear like rejection. They feel like they're not really optimistic. Okay, I'm getting somebody who here who's just like they give up before they even start kind of energy. And so God is trying to say, the reality of it is not everybody is going to say yes. Not everybody is meant for everybody. Okay, imagine, there will be no single people on earth if everybody was paired up. But that shouldn't, just because somebody here, there isn't reciprocation or it just feels one-sided at this time, that doesn't mean like this energy doesn't deserve love and that there's never going to be like a love prospect. But there's something to be said about being kind of fair-minded, balanced in somebody's thought process of like not fantasizing so much to the point that they're they're dreaming up a coming together with somebody that they don't really have much history with. So it's just like kind of like a secret admirer kind of like energy, where somebody here is just admiring them from afar. And I can see why this energy does that, because they're connecting with somebody that really is of value. They do have a lot of like care and love to give, and like they're very nurturing, and so they really bring out this like gentle yet passionate side to an individual. And so final messages for that. There's something to be said about like being open and honest about intentions. Okay, if somebody here is looking for like, just be like upfront and honest. If that's what this energy wants, upfront and honesty, coming out of maturity and not wanting to play games, then somebody here really needs to do that. I do sense some sort of like waiting around energy, it's like it can be more productive if they don't do that. It's just like be direct, to the point. If the feeling is mutual, great, progress it from there. If it's not, thank you very much, and then go. Okay, like it's just like, you know, make it easy, make it logical on yourself, or you know, whoever I'm speaking to. Because the last thing we want is to go in circles. What coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like, oh, like, is things gonna happen? Like, do they feel the same way? Like, why not just get to the truth and just see? Talk it out, okay? All right, so Aquarius. So Aquarius is connecting with somebody that doesn't like them or like they're connecting with somebody that if they feel like, you know, doesn't like them or doesn't care about them or like doesn't want to have anything to do with them, and like they feel like, oh, this person probably has better things to do, like they could care less, okay. And then, and I see here, it was because there was some level of conflict. Okay, I do sense some sort of conflict that had taken place, and like somebody here, the reason why there is this like falling out energy in a sense is because somebody here tried to create drama or some level of conflict, and so that because somebody here didn't want to make things worse, they just walked away, and now they just kind of feel like, you know, it's going to be very difficult to come together and like collaborate or talk and all of that, even though there's all of this attraction. And so why don't we need to know this? Okay, so this is a reminder. This is a reminder for somebody like at this time during the 8-8 portal, somebody here is going to be really given the opportunity to learn from their mistakes. Okay, learn from the past, their experiences, of how their, you know, their actions have reactions. It's almost as if somebody here was not taking responsibility for like what they have done in a sense, but instead have been just defensive about the whole thing, as a mechanism to not associate and block off, to not deal with their sadness and emotions. It's almost as if like, instead of being like, yeah, you're right, like, you know, they might like, instead of saying like, yeah, you're right, I messed up, instead of saying that, somebody here just ended up being like defensive, and then like kick themselves out in a sense, and now they're just kind of like in a hole of sadness and depression because they couldn't be on somebody's good side in a sense. And so the recommendation, or like the reason why they had to experience that, is because they're trying to be somebody here, somebody's mission here. They are trying to be more of a spiritual person, and it was one of their spiritual lessons, okay, to be mindful of how they approach others, and that their actions have reactions. Not everybody is going, like, there's something to be said about maturity and picking battles and being upfront and honest about when, if there was a mistake and all of that, apologize instead of just being defensive and putting the blame on everybody else. Okay, so that's the message. So Pisces, There you are, your energy. So I'm picking up on an energy, like somebody here is very like attractive, like they have a lot going for them, they bring value, and it's just like whatever they touch it blossoms, okay? And somebody here is actually like really in love with that, and is very admiring of somebody's like beauty or charm, or like just the way this energy carries themselves. They really adore it, okay? And but I do sense some sort of like rejection energy, or like not fully embracing the feelings. It's almost as if somebody here uh, has like turned their back. I'm getting, I think these two cards were in the Taurus's reading. Okay, so some of you may be dealing with somebody with strong Taurus placements or Earth placements and their Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. But I just kind of feel like somebody here was really connecting with somebody that they really vibed with, and they understood their value, and there were like really good moments and fun times that were shared in a sense. But there's something about distance and monogamy. Okay, so somebody here, it's like they're monogamous, but at the same time they're not, in a sense. It's just like somebody here has commitment issues, or like they just, oh, okay, because somebody here doesn't want to get hurt. They just keep things very like casual, or just on a friendly basis, instead of just being like, I choose you, and like make it official. And like it's like one-on-one monogamy, right? But instead somebody here doesn't want to declare their love and attraction, but and to confuse the other individual, they like to keep things very like open-ended, casual, like just friendly energy. And it's, I am sensing here that is creating some level of stress, okay? And it's rooting from immaturity, okay? If somebody, you know, or lack of experience, okay? Okay, I will say that. But it's not coming from a good place. It's self-sabotaging. It's almost as if like they're operating from a hurt base, or like a defense mechanism of trying to protect themselves by hurting themselves, protecting themselves by hurting themselves to not move forward. Okay, anything else? Why do we need to know this? Okay, so somebody here needs to make a decision. It's just like if they're connecting with somebody that is the bee's knees, the cream of the, you know, creme de la creme, the best of the best, like if there's chemistry, there's like mutual respect and all of that, and it just feels like it can really go somewhere, then somebody here really needs to be honest and not be so indecisive, okay? And so, yeah, it's talking about communicate. Anything else? No, that is it. Okay, it's just like you're going to miss the shot, all the shots you don't take. It's just, if somebody here doesn't believe in like energies and stuff, I mean, that is just math, science, right? Okay, so that was the end for the all signs portion. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the reading with a final message via the spinny spin. Look at that. Okay, great. You know, for those of you guys who are still in here, Amazing. Amazing. You know, it's good. Very nice. Very good. Okay. All right. One, two, and feature. Okay. So somebody here wants to know more about their feature energies. So as with all of my readings, they're timeless, and regardless of the signs and the labels, if you're listening to the message, okay, there's a reason why. There's a reason why. So perhaps it provides more clarity into your situation, or it also gives examples of different perspectives, and it's ultimately there to help you to recognize, like the kind of mindset we should have when it comes to dealing with life, in a sense, like how it will benefit you the most. Okay. All right. So Yashu wrote, "Hey, can I get a reading?" This is exactly what's happening, honey. Okay. So if you're in here, there's no coincidence, regardless of your sign. If you're looking for more of a personal reading, feel free to check out the description of this video for all of that information. Otherwise, feel free to just listen in as I tap into energy. So you don't even have to ask the question. Whatever you're meant to hear at this time will show up. Feel free to check out the playlist portion of this channel, where you will find other Tarot Today's monthly and yearly readings as well, so you'll get the full picture. All right. So these are the cards I wanted to come up first, right? Look at that. Ooh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. So somebody here has love on their mind. They're heartbroken. Okay. Somebody here just feels like, why is it so hard? Why is it so difficult to invite love into their life? Somebody here is wondering that. It's just like, so Yashu, you're not listening, honey. Okay, you're not listening. What did I just literally did the whole spiel about, what all of that. Feel free to rewind. but step one, we gotta listen. We gotta listen, because what's the point of me telling you all of these, messages coming through, if it's just gonna go through one ear and out the other. Okay. I'm so glad I get to use these as part of the messages. uh, Anyways, okay, so let's get back. So the future energies that I'm feeling here is that somebody here wants love, like, pretty badly. Like, this is it's always on their mind, but it's just they've been heartbroken, or there's this sense of fear of betrayal, or like third party energies. All right. Oh, I'm glad. Oh, Donald wrote, I just realized they were ears and not hearts. You know what? I was thinking they do look like hearts. So I'm glad you said that, because see, that's the thing about perspective too. This is exactly like right before I came on here, and I was just like, you know what? Some people might think these are ears, or some people might think these are hearts. And so I was just like, well, whichever they think it is, still cute. but but it can be both. It can be both. But I kind of threw these on because I was just like, when else am I gonna? This is technically the 8-8 portal reading, the Lion's Gate, right? So that feline energy a little bit. So that's why I threw it on. But it does look like hearts. I agree. Okay. All right. So it can be both. It can be both. So anything else? So as mentioned, somebody here is scared. They know that they need to make a decision. They have all of these feelings, unprofessed feelings, or like they didn't make it official, in a sense. Like somebody here is holding back, and that is what's destroying them. Okay, this is what's destroying them. This is what's like what makes them like stay up at night wondering about the shots that they didn't take. Okay, and so now somebody here was just like, you know what, maybe they waited a little too long, or maybe enough time has gone by. Like maybe there needs to be some level of clarity instead of illusions. Okay, so somebody here really wants to come forward, you know, talk about like how they feel, their intentions. And I see here somebody is going to want to commit. Okay, somebody here is going to want to commit, and as mentioned, there is this fear that they will get rejected. Well, can we know if they'll get rejected? Is it okay? What do you think? Should we tell them? Will they get rejected or not? Hmm. Okay. I will say this. If somebody here has work to do, okay, if they still have some sort of work to do, whether that is to improve on their self-confidence, their foundation, their career, their money, themselves, their perspectives, their mindset, whatever it is, okay? If they still have something to work on, that is an obstacle or a challenge that needs to be addressed, right? It can't just be swept away because somebody here is so focused on love. And the person that this energy is dealing with, okay, they'll know whether or not the other person is ready. Okay, they'll know. And there's a difference of like, oh, like somebody here is ready, but they just need that courage and push to go after it. And then there's another set where it's just like they're not ready. They're not ready, but they feel this push to go for it because they fear that they're going to miss their shot if they wait too long. Okay, so using our noodle, okay, what do you guys think, huh? Which energy should we be in for the results to be in our more in our favor, for the results to start in a good foundation versus a shaky one? Okay, so it really is encouraging. It's the best recipe for success when both parties are essentially on the same page. Is there's not much burdens, so to speak. The only thing that is like standing in the way is somebody here needs a little courage to kind of be more vocal about and be more open about how they feel. Okay, so it just really depends on each individual, where they are on their journey, and if they are ready. Wonderful. God approves. Anything else, God? Okay. All right. So take it easy. You know, this time when all of these things are happening, okay, it's going to be a little bit draining. Okay, it's like there's this duality in a sense of like one aspect of somebody here is like pumped up and ready to go, but at the same time, I do sense some sort of like healing and recharging that needs to take place. So it, in a sense, is saying don't burn yourself out. Okay, it's just kind of like this is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Okay, so don't burn yourself out and be balanced. And any final messages? No, that's it. Get some rest, okay? Thank you for joining me and watching and all of that. And yeah, feel free to check out the description of the video for all the links, you know, teamwater.org and all of that for if you would like to contribute. And yeah, otherwise, I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Bye.